I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
The panties would not have been thick enough to shield this level of heat.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
That dog looked like he already had more worms than he needed.
Hey, 20.
A short stick of wood floated near the edge of the landing stage. The stick had a hook on one end. I figured it was a boat hook for hooking boats. It was a short wooden-handled boat hook. I just knew that boat hook would be useful for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little. It was the beer bottle that slob of a watchman had dumped in the sea, now half full of filthy dock water. The label read, "Surge, the beer that clears your head." My arms weren't long enough to reach the platform. It was a platform which could be raised or lowered. It was the night watchman. Not such a good idea. Wrong, wrong, wrong. No, I had to think of something else. Nope.
Hello?
The bottle was half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it. The chimney was a metal pipe which disappeared into the wall. On top of the pipe rested a cone. Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney. It was the metal cone I'd taken from the chimney of the watchman's hut. The chimney was a metal pipe. That chimney looked very exposed without its cone. The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke. It was the night watchman.
Something wrong?
Something wrong. I nearly choked to death.
Why don't you get some air? Take a long walk along the pier. I could stay here and watch the gate.
Oh, no. You'd be through that gate as soon as my back was turned.
With that crazy dog around? Someday I hope to have kids.
It was an old iron stove, which heated the hut and the watchman's dinner. That chimney looked The chimney was a I wouldn't have considered wearing it if it had been the last coat on Earth. It was a box of blank forms. The box contained nothing but blank forms. Someone had once told me a piece of coal brought you luck. Who was I to argue with irrational superstition? Baked beans in ketchup.
Yow!
Stove equals heat, heat equals burn, burn equals excruciating pain. That wouldn't work. The packet was full of dog biscuits. I couldn't think of one good reason to steal the watchman's kettle. That mug was a health risk. I decided to leave it where it was.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I,
Get the hell out of here.
Okay. Just hold on to that dog.
It was my lucky piece of coal. It was the box of biscuits I'd taken from the watchman's hut. Gourmet dog, the snack your dog would bake himself. Sure, as if I'd let a stupid dog loose in the kitchen. There was a cute picture of a boxer dog wearing oven mittens.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy. Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
The guard dog was staring at me with a hungry look in his eyes. I felt a slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed. As I'd expected, the dog could swim like a dog.
my office.
I hope you don't mind, but
You stay out of here, you hear? Otherwise the dog gets an early breakfast.
I wouldn't want him to change his eating habits on my account. Besides, I have brittle bones. He might choke.
What's the problem with the stove?
I don't know. Damn flue seems to be blocked.
Maybe some bird built a nest in the chimney.
Huh?
A gull, maybe, or an albatross.
Albatross my ass. That chimney's too hot. What's wrong with your hand?
In my hand? Oh, friction burns.
Friction burns?
Yeah, I slid down a rope.
You don't want to make a habit of that, pal.
Let me in, and I'll give you this lump of coal.
I got plenty of coal already. You always carry it around in your pocket?
I heard it was lucky.
Superstitious crap. I got a whole bucket of it in here, and it ain't brought me no luck.
Do you recognize this metal cone?
Say, that's just like the Tin Man wore. You know, the Wizard of Oz.
I'd have never taken you for a fan of Dorothy and Toto.
That dumb kid? She ruined the whole damn thing for me, all that singing and stuff. Anyhow, she wasn't even a real kid. They stuffed her in a corset so her titties didn't show.
See you later. The doors looked 100 years old, but they were still very sturdy. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. A barge was moored against the dockside. It was a long way down, too far to jump. It was a beautiful piece of 19th century engineering, but not a lot of use to me. I couldn't reach the wheel and couldn't see any point in climbing up to it. It read Pont de Nord, fine wine producers. I didn't recognize the label. The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. Anyway, I didn't really want it as a souvenir. The clamp was held in a mechanism which forced its jaws open. I decided not to tamper with the clamp. Those jaws looked like it could snap shut at any moment. The doors looked 100 years old, but they were still very sturdy. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door. It read Condor Transglobal. I'd come to the right place. Now all I had to do was get inside. This sign also looked firmly attached to the wall. That door seemed to be the only way into the warehouse. The ladder led up to a walkway which stretched the length of the building. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking. The din must have... Maybe there was a way in up there. It was a duct from a ventilation fan. The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. The window wasn't fully shut. The window looked like it hadn't been opened for many years. The window was jammed shut. The clamp consisted of two metal jaws which would close when weight was applied to them. A fine old oak barrel. Lucky for me, that window was unlocked. It was a powerful fan. I couldn't reach the blades of the fan, which was just as well. If I'd stuck my fingers in there, I'd never be able to play guitar again. It was the creep who kidnapped Nico, and I had a score to settle. The room was filled with Transglobal crates. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. I wasn't convinced that that was the right thing to do. I wouldn't have been hurt over the din of the fan. I wouldn't have been hurt over the din of the... That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss. The fan was a real mess. A splintered boat hook, dented blades, and a shorted motor. The boat hook was jammed in the dented fan blades. I decided there was a better way to attract their attention. I decided there was... There was a little grill set into the door. There was a little grill set into the door. The grill opened from the inside.
Who is he?
Pizza delivery?
I didn't order pizza.
No? This is the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company, isn't it?
I don't like pizza.
Oh, come on. Everyone likes pizza. Maybe he was allergic to mozzarella. Hey,
What now?
look. This pizza's been paid for. You might as well take it.
I told you, I don't like pizza.
Not even with extra olives?
I hate them. Olives are the devil's butt nuggets.
If you know what's good for you, you'll open this door.
What if I don't?
I'll kick your head in.
Okay, I'll come out, you creep.
No. Someone had once... Who was I to argue? The packet was... Hey, 20! I felt a slight twinge of... It soon passed. As I'd expected, that did the trick. The fan clunked.
Hey,
That
Garza.
Karzak.
Who is he?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
What do you want?
I want to return your spider. I pulled its legs off, which is exactly what I'm going to do to you. I got the feeling he wasn't too pleased to see me.
Who is he?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
What do you want?
I've come for my girl.
No girls here.
Open up, creep. I got the feeling he...
Who is he?
Is this Condor Transglobal?
Nobody here. Go away.
I'll give you 5 seconds to let me in or I'll bust down the door.
Okay. I'm coming.
He didn't sound too happy. No. Police, we want to talk to you about abduction, arson, and attempted murder.
Got a warrant?
Sure, I got a warrant. Open the door, I'll show you.
You wait.
That's got him scared and angry. Hey,
What now?
look, this pizza's been paid for. You might as well take it.
I told you, I don't like pizza.
Not even with extra olives?
I hate them. Olives are the devil's butt nuggets.
I decided there was a better way to attract their attention. If you know what's good for you, you'll open this door.
What if I don't?
I'll kick your head in.
Okay, I'll come out, you creep. Even if he wasn't carrying a gun, I wouldn't want to mess with that guy. He looked like the kind of guy who'd shoot first and not bother with questions. So I kept quiet. If you know what's good for you, you'll open this door. What if I don't?
I'll kick your head in.
Okay, I'll come out, you creep.
The Indian lay spread-eagled among the barrels in the bottom of the barge. It was a long way down. The door led into the silent warehouse. It was an old, creaky, heavy, splintery wooden door. I wasn't going back out there. Oh, no. The fan was a real mess. The boat hook was jammed in the dented fan blades. There was a notice board beside the desk with an assortment of paperwork on it. There was a small drawer in the desk. Knowing my luck, it was bound to be locked. The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key. It was a small brass key. A filing cabinet. Among the paperwork which adorned the notice board was something which caught my eye. It was a delivery note from Condor Transglobal, and the address was Corrientes City. It was locked. The room was filled with Transglobal crates. All the crates were firmly sealed. Whoa! Don't shoot! The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something. What? What do you want? He seemed excited, almost desperate. What did he want so bad? The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. Hi, I'm not going to hurt you.
Quaramonte!
Is that where you're from? Corrientes City?
Quaramonte!
Okay. What have you done with my girlfriend?
Huh?
I am not leaving without her. Where is she? He didn't appear to understand me. Tell me what you've done with Nico, and I'll share these biscuits with you. I knew it sounded lame, trying to bargain with a box of doggy snacks. Besides, how was he to know how yummy they tasted? Do you know what this is?
Peito. Lotseka peito. Inyakot lagoino mutu.
This was the dart you used to knock out my girlfriend. If she's come to any harm, I will count you personally responsible.
Lotseka peito fnor.
What does this key unlock?
Huh?
Hey, you're manacled. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay? Hey, come back here! The little guy had gone to ground amongst the stack of crates. It was the set of manacles I'd removed from the little Indian's ankles. The room was filled with... All the crates were firmly sealed. The little brass key didn't fit the lock. It was locked. It was the set of manacles I'd removed from the little Indian's ankles. It was an elevator to the upper floor. I couldn't pry the doors apart with my bare hands. There was usually an easier way to do it. It was the button to call the elevator. Just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and stopped anyone from using the elevator. But what now? It was a device to prevent the elevator doors closing when they were obstructed. Holding my hand in front of the eye would stop the doors from closing, but I couldn't stay like that forever. No. The crate bore the familiar logo of Condor Transglobal, but no clues to its contents. There. That would keep the doors from closing. The crate bore the familiar logo of... I couldn't move the crate until I'd blocked the light beam with something else. I decided to leave the electric eye alone. It was the elevator call button. An unmarked switch. Tempting. Nothing happened. That was probably because the elevator was already on this floor. The crate was labeled, "Danger. Live contents. Do not drop." There were small holes in the top and sides and scratchy noises coming from inside. It was a large crate with no label. No chance. Whatever those crates contained, they were heavy. But decided not to risk dropping it and meeting the live contents. It was a pulley attached to a long rail which ran the length of the building. It wasn't much use, though. No rope. There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope. The statue looked as if it was Central or South American in origin. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. It was a hydraulic hand cart. There wasn't enough room to move the handle. The window was not designed to open. There was no way to open that window. I realized the doors must lead to a loading platform high above the dockside. A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open. I noticed a faint mark on the wooden floor. There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. There didn't appear to be any difference in the paneling of this part of the wall. My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall. Then I found a small round stud which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling. Just as I'd hoped, a secret room. The hidden door led to a secret room. Nico! The door led back into the warehouse. It was a grotesque little statue of a figure carrying a shield and a spear. It was a short length of rope tied tightly around Nico's slim wrists. Nico was trussed up like a chicken, but she didn't appear to be harmed. Will you look at this? It was a small statue of a kneeling figure in an ornate headdress. The head was hideous, with huge staring eyes set in a decomposing face. Hey, somebody's marketing Lobino dolls. It was a flint carving of a grotesque figure with large, evil eyes. Hold still. This might hurt a little.
Ow!
Think yourself lucky you don't have a mustache.
About time. You could at least have helped me before grabbing everything you could find.
Not so loud. They'll hear you.
Get these ropes off me right now.
You know, the mood you're in, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Where's Pablo, the big guy?
Out cold. Too much wine doesn't agree with him. Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. Untie me this instant.
That look in her eyes told me I'd better get those ropes untied, and fast. What?
Get me out of this chair.
What? There. How you feeling?
Oh, thanks, Georges. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Oubier had been in Marseille. But never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Carzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes. The proof I needed to expose Carzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof, I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oubier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oubier.
I don't get it. If Carzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Carzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Nico, wait! It was the strip of masking tape which the big Indian had used to gag Nico. It was the rope the Indian had used to tie Nico to a chair. Boy, what a souvenir. We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo's recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure. Nico looked well considering her ordeal. Okay, tell me what you know about Condor.
Condor Transglobal exports Aztec and Mayan relics from Central America to Europe. But that's just a cover for the real business. Drug smuggling.
What proof do you have?
Nothing yet.
Do you know where Condor is based?
In Central America. A place called Quaramonte.
I saw that name on a docket downstairs. Tell me about this Carzak guy.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes, but he frightens me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes, they're like a wild animal's, like a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Did you know Oubier's wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he was married. What happened to her?
She died. In mysterious circumstances, apparently.
How mysterious.
I heard she was murdered, possibly by Oubier himself.
A murderer, huh? André said he was something of a celebrity.
Did I hear you refer to Inspector Moon?
Yes, you remember him?
Of course I do. But I thought he was dead.
Oh no, he reappeared after the broken sword case had blown over. When he found out who was in with the Neo-Templars, he went into hiding. Moon knew more than was good for him.
Does he know about our involvement with the case?
If he does, he's not telling. Still, he got a sudden promotion.
Did that Indian guy mistreat you?
If you forget about the abduction, verbal threats, and bondage, no.
Well, what about the little guy?
I don't think he knows where he is or what he's doing here. The big guy, Pablo, he brought Titipoco from the jungle.
Titty what?
Titipoco. That's what I heard Pablo call the dwarf.
Do you recognize this?
Is that the dart which knocked me out?
That's right. I kept it as a souvenir. Have you any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, Georges. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
I found these in your bag.
Oh, they were a gift.
I know. I read the note.
God knows what was going through André's mind.
I think that's quite plain enough. Look, the little guy downstairs was chained up with these.
That must have been Pablo's doing. I don't blame him, though. That little guy is dangerous.
You're still sore about that poisoned dart?
Of course I'm sore.
It would be much easier to attach the rope to the statue first. The rope was attached around the neck of the statue. The rope wasn't long enough to reach the pulley. There wasn't enough room to move the handle. No chance. Whatever those crates contained, they were heavy. There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time. I didn't want to risk dropping the crate and releasing its live contents. I couldn't move the crate until I'd blocked the light beam with something else. Hopefully, the tape would prevent those doors from closing and stop the Indian from being able to call the elevator. The masking tape I'd placed over the eye prevented the elevator doors from closing. I decided to leave the electric eye alone. Rose about 6 inches off the floor, and I said a silent prayer to whoever had discovered the power of hydraulics.
What on earth are you doing?
trying to raise the statue so I can hook it to that pulley.
Is that really going to help us?
I like to keep myself occupied in times of stress. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. It was too heavy for me to move on my own. The statue looked as if it was Central or South American in origin. The rope and pulley were now attached to the statue. Could you give me a hand to push the statue?
What for?
This, my dear, is our passport to freedom.
If you say so, dear.
Okay, push! Great teamwork.
Nice to be working with you again, Mr. Stobart.
Nico looked well considering her ordeal. There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time. It was a hydraulic hand cart. The doors had been smashed open. A cable stretched way out across the docks to a building in the distance. I thought about hanging from the cable with my bare hands, but it was too far to the other end of the cable to escape that way. Nico, I have a great idea.
George, where have you been?
Never mind that. Do you have the Mayan stone?
Maybe I have, but,
Don't argue, André. Give the stone to George.
well, of course, if you say so, Nicole.
Thank you so much, André.
George, he told me you'd been kidnapped, my dear. I'm glad to see he was mistaken.
Oh, but it was true. If it hadn't been for George, I wouldn't be here now.
It's not finished yet. Karzak's thugs will be back for that stone, you can bet. The best lead that we have is Coromonte City.
Coromonte is in Central America. That's where Ubier gets his artifacts.
That's all we needed to know. Come on, George.
Quaramonte, the traveler's rear entrance to Central America. Well, that's how it was translated in the brochure. We didn't know what we were looking for, but the offices of Condor Transglobal seemed a good place to start.
Hey, it's market day. I don't see any cabs. Let's ask someone how to get to Quaramonte City.
Okay. Keep your eyes peeled for any sign of Condor Transglobal. It was the docks where our ship was still unloading. It was Nico, wearing clothes I'd never seen before.
You can't leave without an exit visa.
It was an uninteresting little wooden hut with an armed goon outside it. Inside the hut was a chair and a small table. It was an armed guard looking after the barrier.
Welcome to Guaramonte.
Thanks. Can we get a cab to the capital?
This is the capital, Guaramonte City.
When's the next ship out of here?
But, senor, don't you like our beautiful country?
Oh, yeah. It's like a little piece of paradise right here on Earth.
Then why you wanna leave?
I'm just plain homesick. Like it says in the song.
A word of warning, senor. If you feel like bursting into song, bite your tongue.
Huh?
There are official restrictions on music in Guaramonte.
We've had enough. We're going back to the ship.
Okay. You show me your brown card?
Huh? What brown card is that?
The official exit visa.
How come music is restricted in Guaramonte?
It is part of a great cultural enrichment campaign. Traditional Caramonte music is considered unsuitable for these fast-moving times. Nuestra Senora has decreed that only one category of music is suitable.
What's that?
Easy listening.
The guy wasn't showing much enthusiasm selling his wares.
Hi.
You wanna buy something?
No, not really.
I got cabbages. Buy a cabbage, senor.
I don't think so. I didn't come all this way to buy vegetables. Listen, have you heard of Condor Trans Global?
No. Buy a cabbage. I'll give you a discount on bulk purchases.
I'm not into cabbages. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Aye, Tezcatlipoca. Put it away, senor. Tezcatlipoca brings nothing but evil.
The poor guy was so freaked he didn't even mention his cabbages.
See ya.
The old woman was preparing a food that consisted of ground maize and lots of spittle.
Hi. Lovely bread.
¿Qué?
Bread. Pain?
Si, pan.
Maybe I'll come back later when I'm hungry. Do you recognize this statue?
Por Dios, put it away. You will bring bad luck to Guaramonte.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go away. You carry the curse of Tezcatlipoca.
Okay, I know when I'm not wanted.
Go away.